Thank you all so much for coming.
We love any excuse for cake.
This is the best part of the day.
The day my uncle retired, his company threw him a small party. There was a cake, there were handshakes. Someone gave a short speech about what a dedicated employee he had been for 31 years. And then they walked him out. That same afternoon, the company he had given 3 decades of his life to announced record profits. The stock went up. The shareholders made money. The executives got bonuses. My uncle went home to a fixed income and a thank you card. And I remember watching that and thinking something felt deeply wrong about it. I just did not have the words for it yet. Today I do. And by the end of this video, you will too. Stay with me. Here is the question I want you to sit with right now. Think about the first job you ever got. Think about how hard you worked to get it. The resume, the interview, the nerves, the excitement when they called to say you got it. Now fast forward to today. Are you free, not comfortable, not surviving? Free. Can you walk away from your job tomorrow and still be okay in 6 months? Can you take a month off without your bank account going into panic mode? If the honest answer is no, then what I am about to say is going to matter to you. Because the problem is not that you are lazy. The problem is not that you did not work hard enough. The problem is that you were handed a plan that was never designed to get you to freedom in the first place. And nobody told you that when they handed it to you. Here is the plan most Americans were given. Go to school, study hard, get a good job, show up every day, work your way up, save a little, retire at 65. Sounds reasonable, right? But look at what that plan actually produces at the end. You spend the best 40 years of your life working. Your energy, your focus, your prime years, all of it goes into building something. And at the end, you get a retirement package, maybe a party, and a monthly check that may or may not last as long as you do. Meanwhile, the company you helped build keeps running, keeps growing, keeps making money without you. Because it was never built around you. You were always just one of the parts that kept it going, and when the part gets old enough, you get replaced with a newer one. That is not cynical, that is just how the machine works. And the only way to stop being a part in someone else's machine is to start building your own. Now let me show you something that changed the way I see everything. There are 2 ways money flows in this country, 2 completely different rivers, and most people spend their entire lives standing in the wrong one without ever knowing the other one exists. The first river is what most people know. You work, you get paid, you spend, you work again, month after month, year after year. The money comes in and the money goes out, and at the end of the month you basically start over. The second river is different. In the second river, money moves while you sleep. It moves while you are at your son's baseball game. It moves while you are on vacation. It moves when you are sick and cannot get out of bed. Because in the second river, the thing making money is not your body or your time. It is a system you own. A rental property that collects rent whether you show up or not. A business that operates without needing you there every hour. Investments that grow quietly in the background while you live your life. Digital products that sell at 2 in the morning while you are asleep. These things do not care if you had a bad day. They do not care if you are tired. They just keep working. And the people who live in that second river did not get there because they were smarter than you. They got there because at some point somebody showed them that the second river existed. Nobody showed most of us that. And here is the part that will really get under your skin if you think about it long enough. The tax system in this country treats these 2 rivers completely differently. If you earn a salary, the government takes their cut before the money ever touches your hands. You get what is left. That is your river, pre-taxed, pre-reduced, already smaller before you see it. But if you own a business, you pay your expenses first, your costs, your operations, everything it takes to run the thing, and then you pay taxes on whatever is remaining after all of that. Owners spend first, then pay taxes on what is left. Workers get taxed first, then spend what is left. Same country, same laws, two completely different games being played on the same field. I'm not telling you this to make you angry at the government. I am telling you this because once you understand it, you can use it. The rules are not hidden. They are just never explained to people who grow up in working-class households. And the silence around those rules is exactly what keeps most people in the first river their entire lives. So what do you actually do with this? You do not quit your job tomorrow. That is not strategy, that is panic. What you do is you start using your job differently. Right now your job is the whole plan. It is where the money comes from and where the money goes. The whole circle starts and ends there. What you need to do is turn your job into a launching pad instead of a destination. Take a portion of what your job pays you and start building something outside of it, something small, something you own, a service you offer to one client, a room you rent out, a simple digital product, an index fund you put money into every single month and never touch. It does not matter how small it is when you start. What matters is that you start. Because the moment you have even one thing generating income outside of your job, your entire relationship with money changes. You stop feeling trapped. You start feeling like someone who is building towards something, and that feeling changes every decision you make after that. The people who figure this out at 30 live completely different lives than the people who figure it out at 55. Not because they were smarter, because they started earlier. And some of them were not even sure it would work when they started. They just started anyway. Here is where I want to leave you today. My uncle worked 31 years for a company that threw him a party and then replaced him by Monday. He was not a bad man. He was not a lazy man. He was a hardworking man who followed the plan he was given and trusted that the plan would take care of him. It did not. And the hardest part of that story is that the information that could have changed his outcome was never hidden. It was just never handed to him. You are being handed it right now. What you do with it is entirely up to you. This is sovereign mind wealth. We do not do motivation speeches here. We do not do feel-good content that gets a like and changes nothing. We teach the quiet rules of money that nobody taught most of us growing up. The kind of thinking that builds slowly and compounds over time until one day you realize you are no longer a part in someone else's machine. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because the people in your circle who learn this early will live completely different lives than the ones who never do. I will see you in the next one.